So I ended up finding a really good position on the higher time frame based on the what we've been looking at this entire week, which is like the creation of a sell program. So you can see we have our A to B leg that has been collecting sell stops, no form of SMT, by the way. So it's no way of us confirming a buy program at this time until we started doing this, right? We're tracing back up. Now we were referencing to these old highs, seeing what will give us a cracking correlation on the highs, and we did. We ended up finding one right here. It was the London buy-side liquidity based on Thursday. If I'm correct, none of them tapped. If we tapped it on US 100 but not on the other ones, that's a good indication of SMT, right? So we found a cracking correlation high, right? In a leg where in a phantom leg where we should be seeing old highs be referenced, so that we can finally initiate a sell side delivery program, right? So you'll see that once we create that high, we expanded down lower. So this was our displacement. We displaced below 75%, which is this level up here. And now we're looking for a retracement back up into premium. Take the highest premium array and let it see if it can keep going down low. What I do feeling optimistic about this short is that all these lows that we see here above have all been referenced. You see that they all have yellow markings. That means they've all have been referenced in the form of SMT through another indice. So even though the US 100 hasn't touched some of these, as you can tell, the Dow, and I keep calling it Dow, but it's the US 30 and the US 500, both have been selling aggressively to this thing. Third block right here, low to high. This buying price action before it had that change in state delivery. That's the order block entry that I'm entering. It's because it's not 25%, and it's also not. It's almost at the highest premium, from the 75% up to the extreme high. So that's why I got into that trade, and I'm looking to hold this position for over the weekend, just kind of like to practice on holding what's like to hold over the weekend. So that's why you see an open position right there. I also had another one here waiting for me right down here to take an inverse action play based on the bullish breaker that we have formed around here. So I would have liked for it to close down below it and then refer to it as it's going back up and sell. What I'm really liking too is that it's in between two old session sell side liquidity ones and old high. So I will take the midpoint of that event horizon, get it on the premium side of it, and then sell things down lower. Just kind of like a more thing, something else to add on along too. Okay, so we have this formation still holding. So it's a high, low, lower, low, lower, high. This high couldn't break the high of the inception high here. So I'm referring to this price action as a bullish breaker. Right from this low to high is the whole bullish breaker scenario. But to get down to the specifics, this would be my ideal breaker to take things going up. Okay, so I'm still holding on to this idea that we could break down below this old breaker. So this was our bearish breaker, a bearish PD array. Notice that as soon as we opened up at 9 o'clock, traded through it. Now we want to see it like a support, right? But we're again in this higher time frame sell program. So I don't want to see it hold. I want to see it close below it actually. I don't want to see this trade as breaking through it. I mean, this worries me. This dealing range for this higher, this low. I think I'm gonna wait till 9:30, see what the new structure's in play. I wonder if we're gonna use this external range to reverse and then use that to get on the sell. You know what I enjoyed watching was this little bullish mitigation block. And I'm sorry I went quiet there for a bit. I was just so focused on price action right there. But look at this. The moment 9 o'clock hit, we formed this high to low. 9:15 hits. Apologies. 9 to low. 9:15 hits onward until 9:30. What do we see? another high or low. So this high to low little price range, that's a sell side delivery that was met with buy side delivery instantly. That's my little bullish mitigation block. Why? Because it's a higher low compared to this low right here. So it's a low, higher low, failure swing, continues upwards. 930 hits. Okay, we open up here. We didn't break up the high until 930, 930 and 1 second. We could anticipate. Price formed this high after the 1 second mark. 930, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's forming up this high. We're creating a new candle. So I don't count that new price action. I encapsulate whatever's inside here. And whatever formation I got that was balanced, which was this little mitigation block, I push that forward. That's going to be relevant to me for the next 15 minutes. Price taps into that failure swing on the 60 time frame. You saw it work perfectly. Retraces back down to where that bullish order block, that bullish mitigation block, wicks it again and expands aggressively higher. Now, I'm not seeing any form of resistance here. This was like my highest tolerance in terms of seeing a sell occur. So if we're not going to fill this, right, to go down lower, and we were seemingly trying to change the bias to go upwards, we had these higher time frames. So this 15 bullish breaker and a 30U bullish breaker that are implied, and the moment the news cycle began, they needed to be filled quickly. So let's see here. Yeah, their moment their cycle began, they had to be filled quickly after, before time runs out. We're seeing that huge expansion be lifted now, right? You see that even in the 15 unit, price was still just wicking down below down there and eventually met its objective. Now, if we're gonna go up higher, I'm interested in seeing this high now get filled. The high formed at Thursday at 10 a.m. Essentially meaning this new high. Okay, so if that's where we're gonna go. Then I cancel that annoying noise. Alright, so what did we see? So we saw two directions playing out this morning. So when we first clocked in, I told you guys that we were gonna be heading down lower because we had initiated finally after a long time. We were looking for that intermediate sub program so that we can finally get price down to a deeper discount to continue this bullish price action. Price provided me an entry around 9 o'clock last night. That's the entry I was looking forward to continue that sell. As well as all these lows were already referred to by the other sisters of the US 100. So it'll be US 30, US 500 to head down lower, right? This morning, however, we saw price consolidating around these two important levels, right? These were sell side ones before. That used to be an old high. As price was consolidating up here, we were looking for reasons to get into a bearish PDO race or premium PDO race to be able to just continue that sell to collect all these old lows. Price was challenging those levels and was spending a lot of time doing so. That was the first strike, consolidating around those levels for a while. That starting to hint that probably we could see a reversal coming soon. 930 shows up, expands up higher, tackles wicks about that balanced price range that I had highlighted up here. Right, you guys saw it in real-time action. Like, I did not make it up. I'm not backtest. I'm not doing the time stuff. I'm literally live streaming this as we speak. So I had marked this little this little area here as my balanced price range. Price wicked to it, just above it, and then based on what's it called? Based on hindsight, we had this little sell side that was met with buy side as well. So this little tiny area was balanced. We referred to it. Price wicked on it again, coming back down, and then immediately displaces higher. Right, met with institutional sponsorship. We had our first presented fair value gap here that was really wide. Didn't even want to reach down to consequent encouragement, so that shows cases what speed, right? Speed. We met up to this old high here, which was the pre-market from Thursday's buy side liquidity. no problem. So price then retraced. Okay, you see that it kind of rebalanced this old fair value gap, as well as in the higher time frame, we're seeing that the objectives of the time cycle were getting met. So for the 15 unit time cycle, we saw that it was getting met right on time before 11:30, and now we're looking to see if it will meet the objective of this old high to be met before 11:30. And I tell you that once we hit up to this level, this is our futures data, by the way, so it's 10 minutes behind. So while the CFDs have already tapped that high, the futures have yet to tap it. So if we're looking to get this filled quickly before 11:30, and we're seeing this aggressive price action higher, I was looking to get into a small, very small scalp. Y'all saw it, right? It was based on using this old high here as support. You see that once price re-challenged up that high again, we wanted to see it act as a discount to support price action to go up higher. I got into an order block here. Price consolidated a little bit longer and eventually ended up meeting our profit objective, which was the time cycles, the 30 unit time cycle implied bullish breaker to fill quickly, right? So if this fills quickly, then I guess that just leaves us to reach up to these old highs and eventually reaching up to future new stock market highs. And with that, I'll close it there for now.